Kyle Kulinski loses his mind over bombshell allegations tanking Communist Democrat Senate's campaign. Wow, what a fucking huge title, right? By Black Conservative Perspective Channel.
I'm here because Washington needs fighters and Graham Plattner is the fight.
Wait, what? Black conservatives exist? I'm joking. I'm joking.
Fighter we need.
We have Candace Owens. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry, guys. I'm joking.
Bet. I said to myself, that's my kind of man. Because that is a man who not only has the values, but a man who believes in accountability. And we need a little accountability coming out of Washington right now. We need Graham Plattner to come in and get rid of the corruption in Washington. Time for new laws.
He wasted the energy of the entire day on that speech.
First of all, shame on the part of the Democratic Party who stood by him. I think that
I think she dropped another whole sentence, she would probably collapse there.
The Democratic Party was very much split in this race. There are some people that were speaking out against a Nazi tattoo, I said it as well. There were a lot of other people. I think there were a lot of women after the last.
Also, guys, I think I'm not taking anything serious at all today.
Allegations that weren't willing to go out and defend him, but there were a lot of men in the party. I understand that Gillibrand Brand was one of them because she is the head of the DSCC. But shame on our party to do that. And our party has to recognize, if you want to be the party of values, if you want to be the party of decency, of principle, then you do have to come out and call unequivocally for this man to resign, and that is happening.
He's no end of
I think that what this is a larger problem with both parties, which is how far will you go to hold on to power? And when there are
the only thing I disagree with is
you don't want to listen the answer to that question. Because oh boy, do I know how far people these politicians in power here, commies. Do you don't want to know how far they are used to go for power? Oh, you don't want to know that.
Is when she said that he hadn't been vetted.
Trust
me,
he
had been vetted. All of the things that have been stated, it was all out in the public. And people like Ro Khanna, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Tim Walz, the Bulwark, Pod Save America, all these people came together to overlook it all, to explain it all, to rationalize it all. He was vetted. People knew all these things. And a whole bunch of Democrats in Maine showed up and voted for him anyway. And a bunch of donors from around the country sent him money anyway. I agree with Alyssa's question. What changed? Why are you bailing on Graham Plattner now? You already signed off.
I don't know the story of the guy, I don't know if these accusations are true or not. It's literally the first time I hear about everything of this. So if you guys are free to give some side on chat if you want. Some some more details about this guy and everything. Oh, he gripped a bunch? Really? That's really true? Okay, well, I trust what you guys are saying then. But I trust what you guys are saying, but we are used already. We are used already. Come on, we are used already to always appear someone that was raped 5, 10, 15 years ago and comes out of nothing when someone is on power or someone is near election and say, oh, that evil man raped me. It's always like that. I'm not saying that this didn't happen, but don't you find that amazing, huh? I don't know the story. I know nothing about the guy. I know nothing about the accusations. I know nothing, okay? I know nothing.
Off on Nazi tattoo, a self-described communist, somebody who's had rape fantasies, somebody who has been on a social media platform.
But yeah, if he's a commie, you guys are telling me now that he's a commie, and yeah, I heard on the news here and I'll say it's a commie. It's way more believable because after all, they are always projecting over us this stuff. So we know that these are all the things that they secretly love to do. So I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah.
as a playground for predators, and on and on and on and on and on. And the difference between this accuser and the previous one is simply this: she's a liberal. It's okay, I guess, for Democrats that their candidates assault conservatives, but he broke into someone's house and apparently.
So here's the THA funny part, said Pseudobrains. He was accused by a conservative woman. Silence. Now that a progressive woman came forward, he had to step down. Oh, I see. Funny the difference, right? Like it's so weird. These nuances, Yeah. Mac and Cheese, he also fell out of the Senate race because of the accusations. It's not looking good for him. Oh well, they should try. On this one, they should try the chemical castration, huh? I guess. No. Just give him the fucking death sentence. Yeah.
According to her, raped her. And because her politics
Take
are
me
correct,
out
they
of
can now
society,
believe it.
please.
All of this whole thing is disgusting. But to say that they hadn't vetted him or that they didn't know about all this is totally false. They knew it and they signed up for it. And I don't know why they're backing away from this scumbag today when they had already signed off on all that other crazy behavior.
Christine. Boy. So we gotta react to the hilarious quote from the far left lunatics who decided to support a communist Nazi and Graham Plattner, who looks like he's going to drop out of the Senate race because of these new bombshell Me Too allegations. Now, I find this story to be so delicious. Okay? I'm telling you, I love this story for so many reasons. Again, the main reason being that Democrats are actively taking their chances of a blue wave, of taking back the Senate, because they've decided to get in bed with far left lunatics. Vote blue no matter who. It doesn't matter if they have a Nazi tattoo. It doesn't matter if they have all these weird allegations. Right? Doesn't matter if they're communists. Trump bad, so therefore we have to get in bed with the worst of the worst. It doesn't matter. As long as they're Trump deranged and they're communists, this is who the Democrat Party base has decided that they're going to support. Remember, Elizabeth Warren said that Graham Plattner was her type of guy, right? Her type of man, okay? An alleged rapist is her type of man. Just saying. So again, I find this to be hilarious because I'm telling you guys, the quote from the far left, from these people who support
The left always
Graham
accuses the
Plattner
other
is
side of
so
stuff they do. Yeah, exactly.
delicious.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to jump on here to address the serious, credible allegations against Graham Plattner. This story is devastating. I believe the victim here. I think that Graham should drop out of the race. He has betrayed many supporters by not being forthright about this. I would include myself in that. I believed his campaign when they said that there was nothing new coming out. And it looks like an awful accusation, an incredible one has come out. Now,
they probably will not drop. We know that these people do everything for power, right? Like, obviously the guy is not gonna drop. Not only that, but I don't doubt that commies will even still vote on him anyway, because I mean, he's one of us. So it doesn't matter what the fuck he done. They will still vote on him just because they are one of them. It's simple like that. They don't give too much thought. They don't care. They don't fucking care because they don't give a shit to what is actually right. They just care about what they want.
this movement has never been about one individual. Any candidate that takes up the mantle here should share Graham's belief or the campaign's belief in ending complicity in the genocide in Gaza, Medicare for all, taxing billionaires and more.
Lifestyle.
But obviously, this is a devastating development, and we'll be talking about it more on the Majority Report tomorrow.
I'm very interested in experimenting with lots of different kinds of candidates in different kinds of places because I want to win. I want Democrats to hold the Senate, to win the Senate and to win the House. I want Donald Trump's corrupt agenda blocked. Okay, I would do just about.
I find so funny how they talk about corrupt agenda when there is no more filthy things in the world than then.
Anything.
And I'm not saying Donald Trump is perfect. I mean, come on. I pointed out, like, I'm tired of pointing out a lot of flaws of Donald Trump here as well. But it's like, it's uncomparable, you know? It's just incomparable.
To see Donald Trump out of political power or in a contested political power situation. That is my ideal scenario. Graham Plattner is in an incredibly weak position to do that now. And I think as a moral matter, when somebody's credibly accused of rape, that's game over. That's me. That's me. That's one of violence and rape. Those are my red lines.
It's not that Trump is not even like half good, but you have like one option to vote. It's like Republican or Republican. Literally. Why? Like, why? Why would you vote Democrat, right? Voting Democrat just proves how retarded you are. So you only have a choice. It doesn't mean that it's good, but it's just what that is. The thing is that I'm seeing, that we know very well already, but people don't seem to realize that, is that people don't have representation. I don't think they ever have. But it wasn't, I think it wasn't so clear, like, it's so crystal clear like it is today. Like, literally, like, I don't think you can see that more clear than how we can see nowadays, you know? Yeah.
And I don't care that Donald Trump got away with it. I think that's bad and been bad for the country.
And as you're talking to your sources, what are they telling you right now?
Exactly.
Yeah, Aaron, we actually have some significant news that was just released by the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee. This is a joint statement.
But I just want to remind you guys always that it's always them against us. All of them work against us, and that includes Donald Trump and the Republican side. But you gotta vote, right? You gotta always, like, decide one side, decide who is gonna win. Oh, the people are choosing, guys. The people are choosing. Yeah, I totally believe on that, right? They give you two sides to vote. One is bad and another is worse. And it make you choose between one of these, right? So yeah, you're making a choice. It's so good. Wow. Democracy is so amazing. It's so lovely, right? So yeah, you gotta vote the Republican, but you don't get satisfied with that. People are not being represented at all. It's us against them. It's us against them. And we can see that with certain things that are pushed, like, for example, the digital ID and everything, and a lot of this stuff like Agenda 2030 that we know very well, and Jews, blah, 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 billionaire, blah, blah, blah. You guys know already what they're gonna talk about. That all of them push together, and there is no Republican and no Democrat anymore when it's time to push those agendas. They always pass through Senate, to deputies, like, to congressmen, like, always, like, unanimous from both sides. It's always like that. It has been like that in my country for ages. But now you guys are starting to realize that there as well.
Between the chairwoman of that committee, Kirsten Gillibrand, and the Democratic leader, Chuck Schumer. Here's what they wrote, quote, "The allegations reported today are incredibly disturbing. Violence, abuse, and sexual assault are absolutely unacceptable. Graham Plattner needs to immediately withdraw as the Democratic nominee for Senate and allow Maine Democrats the opportunity to choose a new candidate who can defeat Susan Collins. The DSCC will not invest in the Maine Senate race if Plattner remains on the ballot." So a very, very serious threat there from the DSCC, saying that if Plattner does not get out of the way, they are not going to help fund this campaign. And obviously that is extremely significant given what you just pointed out. Democrats need to win this seat in order to try to take back the United States Senate in the midterm elections in just a couple of months. But clearly they've...
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Hilarious, right? Chef's kiss. Mwah! Democrats are effed when it comes to this Senate seat out in Maine. I'm here to tell you that right now. They are cooked. Either way, it doesn't matter if he stays in, doesn't matter if he drops out. They're cooked, okay? They're 100% cooked. So, with that being said, I want to react to Kyle Kuklinski here, who I personally think was the biggest cuck in this situation, right? He was the biggest fool because, again, this dude was standing behind Graham Plattner regardless of the allegations coming out, and he wasn't smart enough to see this coming, which everybody saw this coming, right? Everybody saw this coming, okay? Everybody knew, okay, there's going to be more allegations against this guy. The token cough tattoo apparently was not enough for the communists, right? They believe every lie that this dude told, right? And Kyle Kuklinski went as far as to claim to the world, right? 2.2 million views on X. Plattner could have sexted my mom and I'd still vote for him. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that Kyle Kuklinski would allow Graham Plattner to crack Crystal Ball, his wife, with his token cough if that meant he would win that Senate seat, right? That's how cuck this dude is. So let's listen to him cope over Graham Plattner, basically at this point being forced out of the race with these new allegations. I wonder, would he allow Graham Plattner to assault his wife, right? I'm just saying, because again, clearly he didn't mind Graham Plattner sexting his mom, right?
What the fuck? That's supposed to mean
so,
slavery.
again, these reactions are hilarious. Let's get into it because you already know what's coming, right? You already know what these people are going to say, how they're going to deflect from the criticism of Graham Plattner.
All right, y'all got some major breaking news here that dropped earlier today. So Politico is reporting that Graham Plattner was accused of sexual assault.
Well, that's really
fast. If you
fast.
actually read the article, the headline says sexual assault. If you actually read the article, it's very clear that the allegation is not sexual assault, it's rape. Okay? There's a few things about this that are extra concerning.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad that these people are acknowledging that. This is why I said yesterday. I was like, no. These allegations aren't sexual assault. Sexual assault is like, it sounds like, oh, you smacked a woman on the butt, right? Without consent, right? I feel like that's sexual assault, right? That is what sexual assault would be considered, right? But again, those allegations against Graham Plattner are much more serious than that.
The previous allegations were easy to dismiss because it was a literal Heritage Foundation Republican insider who was making the allegations. Also, the allegations were effectively, he's a bad boyfriend. This is not that. This is much more extreme.
Well, it was multiple women, right? So you had multiple women come out and say this stuff. And again, they're trying to make excuses for why they didn't see the obvious coming here by saying, oh, see, some of the allegations came from a Republican. Right? And it's like, okay, so is that what we're doing now? Right? Again, apparently it's believe all women except conservative and Republican women, right? Is that how this works? Only liberal women should be believed when it comes to allegations of assault? Amazing. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Believe all women except conservative Republican women, apparently.
Lovely.
Allegation is point number one. Point number two is she does have some corroborating evidence. And it's also, if we're being serious here, a Democrat who's making the allegation. In fact, she was hesitant to come forward because she says, I agree with Graham's...
Amazing how this guy is just openly saying, well, we don't believe rape allegations if it comes from a Republican woman, right? So I guess believe all women in the eyes of these so-called progressives, right, it's just really, well, believe all liberal women, right? Rape allegations are only legitimate if it comes from a liberal woman. Does this guy actually hear himself? Right? Like, I mean, seriously, did Crystal Ball watch this video before he put it out and say, maybe this is not the type of message that you want to put out there, that we shouldn't believe women who are conservative or Republican when it comes to these types of allegations, right? That they shouldn't be believed. Their allegations are less serious. Now, again, me personally, I don't believe all women, right? Conservative or liberal, doesn't matter. I don't believe in that, right? Men lie, women lie, okay? I don't know if, this happened to Graham Plattner, but it doesn't matter what I think, because I would, first and foremost, I would never vote for a communist, okay? If I lived in Maine, I would never vote for him, right? So it doesn't matter what I think. Okay, what matters is that these leftists clearly are not living up to the standards that they set for themselves and for everybody else, right? Again, it's believe all women except conservative and Republican women. At that point, it's like, nah, I don't believe them, right? They're lying, okay? But again, if it's a Democrat, right, a liberal woman, well, I guess we got to believe that. We got to believe her. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And these people try to convince you that they're good people, right? Fascinating.
politics, and I was caught between, like, what do I do here? Do I come forward? Do I stay quiet because I agree with this politics? And Graham dropped an emergency video earlier today. Take a look at that.
To directly address the troubling, serious, and false allegations against me. Any accusation of non-consensual behavior,
Yeah, it's all false. It's everything false.
is categorically false. Over the last 10 months, I have been deeply humbled by the faith Mainers have put in me. You have welcomed me into your homes, into your places of work, into your restaurants, into your houses of worship. You have shown that a different kind of politics, one that puts the interests of people over corporations, is not just possible, but is inevitable. This movement we have built, the largest volunteer base in the history of Maine politics, the hundreds of thousands of grassroots donors, and the supporters across the ideological spectrum, we were united in a love of Maine, a belief that our politics must change, and a focus on defeating Susan Collins. So, regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward for the state that I love, the people that I love, the movement I belong to, and the goal of defeating Susan Collins. Those were the goals when we launched this campaign, and they remain my goals today. On June 9th,
and they remain my goals today.
Mainers, the most in primary history, voted to reject a broken politics beholden to Washington and the donor class. They voted for hope, for change, to take back our economy, to take back our power, and to take back our Senate seat. Throughout it all, you never turned your back on me, and I will not turn my back on you now. Every one of you.
I'm pulling guard 61. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a cook. Very good.
Deserves to see that vision come to fruition and see Susan Collins defeated. And we will use every tool at our disposal to do so. As Maine goes, so goes the nation. As always.
So needless to say, very serious allegations, and there's evidence this time as well that there wasn't previously. And I honestly...
Mac and cheese, they better not turn their back on him and my grape then if they do.
I think he's going to drop out. I think he's almost certainly going to drop out. He's going to throw his weight behind whoever takes his place. There's some conversations about who that'll be, which I'll get to in a second. But let me also just say real quick,
I wouldn't be so fast.
I am not
People
remotely
stick to the
interested in
power.
your Plattner take. Because you have nominated a guy
every
3 times
possibility that
who was
they can.
accused of much worse and much more than Graham Plattner. I simply don't want to hear it. There's a literal
Really. Again, are any of these allegations actually credible? I don't think so. So again, it's unsurprising that they want to turn this into what about Trump, right? And it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter what Republicans have to say.
The legendary what about this?
What actually matters is, are you guys going to live up to your own standards? Can you simply just say, hey, we were wrong to support this guy. All the warning signs were there and we effed up. Can you say that without invoking Trump, right? Coming out and claim, but Trump did this, Trump did that, Trump was accused of it. It's always but Trump with these people. It's always but Trump. Again, you guys are the ones that claim you got to believe all women. We don't believe that, at least for the most part. Conservatives don't believe that. Conservative men, that is. I don't know. Conservative women might be a different story. But I'm just saying, like, for the most part, we're not on board with that. We're not on board with the Me Too stuff. We know women lie, right? Shoot. When a woman accuse somebody of something, the first thing I do, I'm skeptical, right? Innocent until proven guilty, unless I have some real solid evidence, right? Not just he said, she said, not just, I think this happened to me 20, 30 years ago. I vaguely remember, but I think it happened, right? Nah, we need more than what's the woman name? E. Jean Carroll, whatever her name is. Yeah, we need more than that, right? I don't find her allegations to be credible, right? I don't care if Trump was found civilly liable in some liberal court. I don't give a damn about that. The allegations aren't credible. So we don't believe in that, right? Or at least I don't. I guess I can't speak for all concerned. I don't believe all women, okay? I'm not on board with the Me Too stuff. You guys are the ones that believe that. So talking about Trump, right? on Trump supporters or what Trump supporters got to say, it's like, it's just cope. It's cope, okay? You guys are the ones that ran with this dude despite all of the warning signs that he was a radical lunatic, right? Which, I mean, all these individuals are radical lunatics, but again, they want to beat Trump so bad. They want power so bad. They're willing to get in there with
Radical
anybody,
lunatics.
right? Anybody that says the right things, right? They say the communist stuff. If they hate Trump, yeah, they can run. You literally can run to be a senator or representative if you call yourself a socialist, right, or a communist. These people will support you, okay? No matter what. That's the problem here. That's the problem.
Wikipedia page dedicated to all of the allegations made against Donald J. Trump. There's nearly 30 different sexual assaults.
That's true, Pulling Guard. Pulling Guard said, "What's sad is how we got here. Modern feminism has defined male/female dynamics as a struggle for power. Now every accusation from a woman now has to be examined through the lens of, is this a power play meant to ruin a man's reputation?" Exactly. And they did that themselves, because most of the cases, actually, that's true. It's not even like some cases. Most of the cases are a huge fucking lie, you know? So, yeah, we actually need to investigate that to know. But I mean, I gotta be honest. I mean, of course, this is a biased take of mine. But we've seen lefties commies enough to know that they love the grape thing a lot. I'm not talking that Republicans don't do that, but we know that we will know each side like loves to point out that we are the ones that are in favor with that, when they're always projecting their own ideas that they have in their filthy minds, you know? So I kind of believe, I really believe that he actually raped them, because that's simple fact. But I mean, he has the right to be judged and to prove that they are wrong and blah blah blah, all that stuff.
Sexual harassment and grape allegations made against Donald J. Trump. Every Republican knows.
But there is the problem. How do you prove that a grape that happened 5, 10, 15 years ago, like always happen? A woman come and say, "Oh, I was raped like 10, 50 years ago." It's always near elections. Didn't you find amazing that this happens? It's always near elections. Always in a very opportunistic moment.
Knows that no Republican fucking cares. Okay, so I'm just simply not interested in you pretending like you have a fucking conscience.
Always
now.
convenient. Always.
No. We don't care because we're not on board with believe all women, right? You're on board with that. So again, bringing this up is just so, it's like, it's irrelevant. It's cope. You're distracting from the fact that this was your guy, right? This is your boy. This is your man, okay? Elizabeth Warren said, Graham Plattner, a rapist, is my type of man, right? My type of guy. You can do all of this. Oh, I don't want to hear from Trump supporters or butt Trump. You can't butt Trump your way through this. Right? Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
You're moral now when you're not remotely any of those things. So all of you go to shut the fuck upsville, sincerely from the bottom of my heart. This is an internal issue between liberals and leftists and Democrats.
At least end up like being terrible for all women in general, because it's always like this. It's all these false accusations, all these opportunistic moments that they take to do that as well. All of these like just make everyone like more pissed off with how we reached this point in history where we are actually like seeing this everywhere, like all the time, for literally nothing. And then the real woman that goes through a struggle like this, they will be seen because of these fucking feminist tards, opportunistic woman that uses their fictional stories to enrich themselves or to punish someone that they don't like, for every fucking shady motivation that they have. Like, they make women that really happens to pass through this stuff, like being seen with doubts when they do, because a lot of women are making like bad usage of this and falsely accusing everyone left and right. And that's really sad and terrible. And I had something else to talk about too, but I ended up forgetting. It has to do with this. If I remember later, I will touch on that on that part. I forgot.
Okay, you can go sit in the fucking corner and be the peanut gallery and wear the fucking dunce hat for all I.
Hey, look. I'd rather sit in the corner and laugh than sit in the corner in the cuck chair, right? Which is, what this guy's used to. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, look, yeah, we're going to sit and we're going to point and we're going to laugh, right? Because you should have known, right? You should have known, okay? You should have known. So, again, I just find this to be so hilarious.
I care. So all you can shut the fuck up. That's point number one. Point number two is, if you are Neera Tanden, shut the fuck up. She's going after Platter now as well. You worked for Bill Clinton. You worked for fucking Bill Clinton, okay? This guy was accused of rape and all sorts of issues way more than Graham has been. Let's be serious about that. I'm not trying to downplay what Graham is being accused of here, but let's be serious. You don't get to pretend like you have a conscience and pretend like you have morality now in this moment. You simply don't, okay? It's convenient when you decide to trot it out. And then finally, I'll point out, listen, man, everybody's now abandoning Graham, and that's going to be effectively the death blow to the campaign. Ro Khanna took back his endorsement. Ruben Gallego took back his endorsement. I'm seeing everybody take back their endorsement. Apparently, Plattner's own staffers are now talking about replacing him. And so there is a legal mechanism at this point for him to drop out, for him to be replaced. And right now it's looking like Troy Jackson might take his place. And Troy Jackson is a former candidate for governor in Maine. He's the most progressive of the potential choices. Bernie backed his gubernatorial run. He's from like the same wing of the party. And like I said, I do think ultimately Graham is going to step aside and basically pass the torch to this guy, realizing that this is going to absolutely jeopardize the chance that he's able to defeat Susan Collins. There was a poll that came out, like a week or so ago that had the race basically tied. And there's some polls out today that have Troy Jackson beating Susan Collins. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but my guess is he's going to drop out. My guess is it's going to be somebody else who's, either DSA or DSA aligned. And this will all...
It looks like a gay feeling from my advice. Yeah, he definitely has a very weird and funny face.
Be a moot point anyway. But needless to say, it's a horrible story. There are horrible facts in there. You can go read the whole thing over at Politico if you want to see it. And that'll do it, man. As many others are saying, I think Hassan came out and said this too, stick a fork in him, he's done. Final thing is, we'll know the country is in a better place when people react with the same sort of moral outrage and condemnation to arming and funding genocide as they're reacting to this.
Oh my God.
It honestly drives me.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Oh, no.
No.
You guys get it, right? You guys get it. So they're replacing a communist with another communist. Now, I wonder what skeletons are in this guy's closet, right? We're going to see, because clearly they don't do a good job of vetting, right? But again, the cope here is hilarious. These socialists, man, they're going to be the downfall of the Democrat Party. I'm telling you, the Democrats, again, they took a very winnable situation, right? Where there was supposed to be a blue wave. Again, we're going to see. Again, nobody's voted yet. The midterms aren't here yet, right? There's still some time, right? It's just July. So we got a few months. But it is looking like Democrats are blowing. They're blowing a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals, right? That is what it's kind of looking like here. Okay, that's what it's starting to look like. Because again, as I talked about a couple days ago, they got that race out in Michigan. They got a
I guess I agree with you, Guard.
I think
of course there are exceptions, but I agree
that
with
Senate
you.
seat in Michigan could flip red, right? If it's El Said, if it's that guy, right? Yeah, that Senate seat might flip red. Okay, this situation right here, Graham Platter dropping out, replacing him at the last minute with another communist. Probably not going to be good. Okay, again, Susan Collins historically underperforms. I'm telling you, by like 10 points in the polls, right? It's very hard for pollsters to gouge the support for Susan Collins for whatever reason, right? I'm not entirely sure exactly what that reason is, but typically she tends to underperform in the polls, right? And she overperforms when it comes time to vote, right? So again, we're going to see what happens. But again, these far left lunatics, they're going to start losing general elections.
Far left to lunatics.
In elections that otherwise Democrats should win. Because again, these people are too far left. They're too radically far left. And clearly they don't care about proper vetting of candidates. They run anybody. Again, as long as they're communists, as long as they hate Trump, they will run a Nazi. They will run a Nazi, and then
They don't care. It's like I said, they will not care to anything that these people do. They don't give like a shit if they murder people, if they rape the people, whatever the shit is. That's the reality, okay? They can even fake that. But they don't need. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. You know. So because of that, they will just like. Truth is that if they believe that this guy can win, they will still allow him to continue the run, you know. And you see that they are making huge insane defense of him. Like even if that is be proven true, the only reason why they will take him off is because he doesn't have a chance to win, but not because this guy is actually a graper. We don't want him here. No, it's just because it's what is best for the party. No, let's put someone else that actually has the chance to win. It's just because of that, but they will still love the guy anyway. That's really insane, you know?
When you have these type of allegations that end up coming out, egg on their face, right? This is humiliating. This is embarrassing. These people are not.
They are literally everything for power. Everything.
If you take people like this seriously after all this, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, I really don't know what to tell you. Ro Khanna should be ashamed of himself. Cal Kalinske, Crystal Ball, Emma Vigeland, Elizabeth Warren, Midas Touch, the Bullock. All of these far lefty outlets and politicians who got behind this guy, the whole Democrat Party really should be ashamed of themselves. Again, I love this story for so many reasons. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.
You know, I actually find incredible how they allowed like Zohar Mandani wins in New York, you know? I know it's not like it doesn't have to do with what we were talking about, but that was so fucking ridiculous. I still don't believe up to this very single day, like. Oh my god, I cannot think any other reason if not like all this mass of illegal immigration from the Muslim countries and etc. Somehow they were able to vote on him. Like, I cannot think any other reason for this guy to win, honestly. I honestly don't see any other reason. Or I cannot believe that women there were so fucking stupid. After all, it's the majority of the voters. I don't know, or both. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't understand how that fucking guy won that. Do you think that people are still satisfied with him there? No. Today, do you think he would, if he would run again, he would win again? Do you guys think that? I'm not sure, but I'm kinda honestly, I kinda don't want to know the results because I actually think it will deceive me. Like it would make me depressed, to be honest. Oh my god. Yeah, I just want to remind you guys to join our Discord server. You can do that by hopping on the link tree that is on your screen. Like type that on your browser and blah blah blah, or going to the description, you're gonna find the link there and many others as well. While you are at it, like going to the Discord 7 though, you will find many other nice links as there. There such my other socials and Patreon link and Ko-Fi link. So yeah, support Foxu because Foxu wants to escape Brazil. And yeah, avoid Vtuber at all costs because they sucks. And if you don't wanna support through Ko-Fi or Patreon, you can always go to my Kick and gift subs or subscribing to the platform as well. That also helps. And yeah, that's it. If you cannot support it any way, shape, or form, just subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. And even though I actually don't believe that this is gonna help him, algorithm, to be honest, when you're a shadow ban, I don't think anything matters. But do that anyway, so we can hope to see if it gets better. Yeah, that's it. Let's go to the next one. Before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank all of you, my patrons, for the incredible support to my work here on YouTube, and especially my 5-Tail Fox Tier member, the Holy Ball, and to all of my 3-Tail Fox Tier members, Wallony Wolf, Fanny Sylvie, Eat Himself, Chile Not Serious, Eustace the Useful, Zealous Isaiah, Ala Rosas, Max Tenor, Nugutino, Avery, Halcyonic Eder, and TV8. Thank you very, very much. You guys are amazing. Also, thanks to everyone that have been supporting me on Ko-Fi, Kick, and to all of my YouTube members. You can support this channel live and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon. Link is in the description below. And that's it for today, my dear Fox Links. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.